So Hot Takes, the hottest sports betting podcast on the planet.
I'm Luke.
I'm Sam.
And we're missing
And
Sean.
Sean's not here.
Yeah, he's not here.
He had to go away on a very important trip. Maybe he's the next Raymond Reddington. We have no idea. But
Down a man for Super Bowl Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. But no matter, we will still bring you guys the quality picks. Before we go into our Super Bowl preview, we're going to review some of our picks from the conference championship. Everybody here had a great week. Round of applause for everybody this week. I had a 5-3 record, Sam had a 6-1 record, and Hawk had a 5-1 record. I'll run through my stuff real quick, and Sam can cover his and break down Sean's as well. My first pick was Daniels anytime touchdown. I got some shit for picking Saquon as a pick in my official thing, and so replaced it with Jaden Daniels on a kind of a whim, and kind of glad I did that. Then I had Philly Washington over 47.5. That was a duh. I mean, Philly covered that on their own, so no real sweat there. Eagles -6. Again, not really much of a sweat there. And then Jaden Daniels over a half a pick, which garbage time, kind of good pass, tipped, intercepted, but we're going to take it. Should have kind of put all of the Eagles game into a parlay looking back, but you can only
that
do
would
so
have been
much.
great odds, dude.
That would have been insane. Then going into the Bills Chiefs, I had Bills money line, obviously. Keep betting the Bills, keep losing. But shout out to Josh Allen for his MVP rate. We'll cover our preview picks from the preseason when we get Sean back so we can cover them. I wanted to go over them this episode, but that's something that's more well-deserved with Sean to be on here. Then I had my lock of the week, which was Mahomes over 24.5 rush yards. I think he finished with 28, so not too upset with that. And then Josh Allen, anytime touchdown, didn't hit. Kind of crazy. He's been on an absolute tear and just didn't win. And then I had the under in that game, and that did not hit either. I thought one of these games, I thought it was going to be just based on how similar the lines were. I thought it was going to be one was going to hit, one wasn't, or one was going to go over, one wasn't. And I was wrong. Both of them went over. So Sam, if you want to run into your picks.
Yeah, I mean, let's start it off. Eagles -6. What better way to watch it in person? Me and my buddy Ben actually went with his friend Carson, which, I mean, I guess I consider him my friend now. But all three of us went. It was
Eagles games will do that to you.
Oh yeah. Well, no, he's an Eagles fan. He's from Arizona. But just an incredible atmosphere. That place was insane. It was, I don't even know how to describe it. It was surreal. Watching them win in that fashion too was just so beautiful. It's got us pumped. But we're going to bring out, we'll bring it down a little bit. Bills lost. I had Bills money line. I love them. Josh Allen, poor Josh Allen. MVP though. Congratulations. But
yep.
Just brutal. Absolutely brutal. Dalton Kincaid, LASIK. Just, God, tough loss. Leave it to the big boys to deal with Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City. But let's keep moving. We have the teaser. The Eagles 0, so just having them win. And I told you guys I got it at +8.5 for the Bills. I would have taken it at 7.5. It hit. Huge win. Keep going. James Cook over 56.5 rush yards. Cha-ching. Over in both games, so that's 2 picks. Both of those hit. Not really a sweat at all. Like we said, the Eagles hit it themselves. 55 points, Luke. Can you believe they had 55 points, dude? That's incredible. I just, like I said, watching that in person, just that display of offense and just dominance. I mean, the Commanders never really had a chance. And then the parlay that we had, it was just Saquon Barkley touchdown and Eagles money line. Simple, right to the point. Could have taken Eagles money line and Saquon 3 touchdowns, but you live and you learn, I guess. And then the mortal lock was Xavier Worthy over 17.5, longest reception, which was a lock. Like I said, he's going to get behind Buffalo's defenders. I'll move into Sean's picks now here. A.J. Brown over 63.5 receiving yards. He had 96 and a touchdown on the day. Huge win there. Goddard over 38.5 hit receiving yards. He was a beast. Him and Ertz. I mean, shout out Ertz. What was it, like 11? It was like 13 targets, 11 catches for like 110 yards or something. That was insane.
He's on fire.
His next pick here, which sadly was his mortal lock, Curtis Samuel, over 13 and a half receiving yards. Tough one. I think he ended with 0. I think. Not a good day for Samuel. Kansas City -1.5. That's a dub. You both, I think, bet against me on that one. No, you had Bills money line.
I had Bills money line.
Tough one. I mean, I guess Sean is Kansas City's using their magic on Sean too. I guess I thought I'd never see the day, but they turned him into a red coat real quick. Xavier Worthy, anytime touchdown, great pick, win. And for his last one, he had Worthy 50+ receiving yards, which was also a win. Solid weekend from Sean, 5-1 for the kid. Looks like we're going to move into this week, the biggest week of the year we've been waiting for, Luke.
Yeah, the biggest game of the year. First, before we start out, Sam, I want to see if you can guess how close the cheapest ticket is at online to walk into the stadium. I saw it was more expensive about a week ago the first time I checked, and as I'm checking now, it's dropped significantly in price, I guess, day before the game.
Right.
But what's your guess on do you want
Just
me to give you a
there?
range? Do you want me to give you over
No.
under?
Because I had a little bit of – I looked at them during the NFC Championship, or right after we won. We were going down to Broad Street. Oh, man. I think it was something like – it was like $3,000 was the cheapest ticket. So, like, is that above or below? Just give me that.
Below. It's under. Okay. It's gone down.
So just to go in, probably dropped a little bit. Oh, gosh. It's in New Orleans. I would say
I haven't seen much hype around the kind of festivities for New Orleans really this year.
They've been kind of sheltered. I mean, it was popping off until that reporter with a wife and kids hired a stripper and then got killed by her and robbed. Yeah, like rest in peace. It's terrible, but I mean, be faithful to your wife.
Right.
Would have never happened. Luke Weaver would never do that. He would never get caught by strippers, man.
Never.
But I would say like 15.59. That's my guess.
No, it's $2,299.
Not terrible.
That's our last guess the price game of the season.
We had no theme song from Sean.
No theme song. But as of right now, we can go ahead and hop into our preview here. Right now, the line sits at Kansas City -1.5, but ESPN's analytics gives the Eagles a 56% chance to win. Over under is 48.5 right now. We can go ahead and just give Sean's picks real quick before we go in. He doesn't really have any fun ones like we do, but he has the under 49 total, and Xavier Worthy under 57.5 receiving yards. And then he also wanted to add Kareem Hunt touchdown and mentioned that he's leaning Chiefs money line, but hasn't taken it. So, I mean, I have one of those same picks. I have the Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown, but I kind of want to make, something fun out of this. As we know, Super Bowl, there's a lot of fun picks that everybody goes with. But I'll just start with we can just go ahead and start with the game lines. I have Chiefs -1.5, and I also have the under. I took the under one is at 49.5. So I mean, got some, it's a little bit more than what Sean's doing. But I mean, I lean the under only because it seems like everybody's predicting like a 24 or it's like a 27-24 game, which would be the over. But something I think Jake Elliott's going to miss a field goal or somebody's going to miss an extra point. Something's going to happen. And it's gonna be close, but I'm happy that I feel like not too many Super Bowls in there recently have had a lot of very close lines. It's been kind of all over the place a little bit, so I'm glad that we're at least predicted to see a good game, and Vegas always knows. So if you want to go into your game lines, I mean, obviously as an Eagles fan, it's a big day for you, so you can kind of give a preview. If you do also want to give keys to the game, give 3 keys to the game for the Eagles to take this.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll start off with my picks first. Obviously, if there's ever a time to, reach into the well, it's now. I got Eagles money line. There's no other way around it. I got it the moment we were in the Super Bowl when it was +120. right now it's a minus 105. I'll double down on it just for you guys. But I have the utmost confidence in the Birds. And then I also have the over. I think this game's going to get very out of hand. Last time Hurts went up against Spagnuolo's defense, 35 points. I know Fangio is going to have I think he's going to have an incredible defensive scheme in the first half, which will lead into my keys. But the Chiefs are never really dead in any game they play, and it's hard to say that because they've kind of let every single team they played this year hang in every game. But they know how to win. That's the thing that it's kind of scary, and that's why I don't like when you. And sometimes when Luke and Sean rag on Jalen Hurts for being a bad quarterback, Sean really does rag on him because if you win, you win. Like the dude's a
He's
winner.
a hater.
He is a hater of Jalen Hurts, bro. He's like Nick Wright. Shout out Nick Wright, you're a moron. Nick Wrong, dumbass. But I took the over. I think this game's gonna get really out of hand. I think something in my bones is telling me the Eagles are just gonna put up points. I think they're just gonna punch this team in the face, and Mahomes will have to try and be Superman to keep up with the Eagles offense. I really don't think Spagnuolo is gonna slow him down. But my three keys to the game, Luke. Fangio. His first half defense, I think is going to be really, really good. His second half defense, he's got to get more confusing with the schemes. Because they adapt. Our problem last time, we were up 10 points at half, 20-10. They started beating our defense, didn't really even change schemes. We just kept playing the same exact thing. And we just keep getting burnt. I mean, that was the problem with our defense last year. It was the same problem with the Super Bowl. We all said it. The middle of the field is wide open. It was like we were allergic to it on offense, and our defense was allergic to the middle of the field. Like, there was no Eagles players in the middle of the field. So I would just say Fangio's got to do a good job of covering the middle of the field, especially with Travis Kelce running those stupid get open anywhere routes or their slant routes. And then the second key to the game, obviously, is getting Barkley going. Not even him just punching them in the face consistently. Get him going just so he's a threat. Because if they shut down Barkley early, it's going to be a long day. And my third key point for the day is just Jalen Hurts doing what he does. Even if that's 16 for 20 with 150 yards. I don't think a lot of people realize. They look at stats and they get blown away. 16 for 20 is incredible. That's like if he threw more passes, he'd make more completions. He just doesn't have to. And two of those could be drops from whoever. Two of them could have been scrambled, get rid of the ball. He's 16 for 20 with 160 yards passing. We still win this game.
Yeah. I mean, those are all a lot. I think a lot of it, too, is going to be heavily relied on your defensive line. I think Kansas City's offensive line is not, it's not very good at all. It's statistically not very good. But I'll run into some of my fun plays this week. If we want to go, one-on-one, I think we can do that.
We'll go one for one, bar for bar. Yeah.
Yeah. So my first fun one
Do you have a touchdown scorer? We can do it right now.
I do have a touchdown scorer. My touchdown scorer is also Kareem Hunt, anytime touchdown scorer, plus 140.
I like it.
He's going to do, I think they'll, get something close to the end zone. I think this game's going to be won kind of in that 12 yards. I mean, in the red zone, too. It's going to be who's going to walk away with touchdowns, who's going to walk away with field goals. But I think that Kareem Hunt's going to have an opportunity pretty close. I think it's called Red Zone Plus, where it's like 12th yard liner in. I think that, he'll be able to do it. So that's my touchdown score of the game.
My touchdown scorer is Dallas Goedert. He's going to be an absolute menace. Kansas City struggles against tight ends, especially mobile ones and strong ones like Dallas Goedert. He can block. He can do anything. You don't know if he's just chipping you or he's about to lay you out. And then that thought's in your head, okay, am I getting around this block or am I getting laid out and Saquon Barkley's going to run up the field for a touchdown? Dallas Goedert is such a key weapon in this game. I wish he was if there was 4 key points, my fourth one would have been get Dallas Goedert. But I'm taking him anytime. Kansas City struggles with tight ends like we do.
Yeah. So my next pick here is I have over 11.5 longest punt return. I think it's like minus 115, but still think that's something fun. I listening to a podcast, shout out Part of My Take, and they were then somebody brought that up, and I thought that was a pretty fun one. So one I hadn't thought of.
Love it. My next one is Travis Kelce over 6.5 receptions. It's at plus 126 right now. I waited till literally just right now to take it because it was low for value. But Travis is going to be the oh shit guy for Mahomes. His first or second read isn't hitting. Mahomes or Travis is going to be somewhere open. It's just
Yeah.
how it works. And if we're leaving him open, I don't think it's going to be downfield. It's
Right.
going to be over the middle. Travis is just going to get receptions. You might see a couple explosive plays, but I think the Eagles are going to be prepared for him. It's like, okay, don't let him get behind this line, but if he catches in front, crash on him. You're quicker than him.
Right.
So I took his receptions. I think it's very safe. He might have like 11 in this game, like Ertz did.
Yeah, I like that. My second one is over 24.5 for Saquon's longest run of the game. That's a fun one. He's pretty explosive running back. I think that, their Kansas City's run defense has always been really good, but I think that they're in a decline this year for sure. So I'm going to take Saquon's over for longest rush, which is 24.5.
As I was scrolling through my bets, I saw that there was a minus 200,000 for Saquon Barkley to have over one rush yard. That would be the sickest beat of all time. Imagine putting
200
just like,
grand to win $1 on him to.
yeah, no, 200
So
grand
you
to win
bet. So you
100,
bet $1 million, you win
500 bucks,
$5.
500.
It's minus 200,000 or 20,000.
Yeah, so if I put 200,000 on it, I win 100.
Oh right, I'm an idiot. Yeah,
Yeah. So if you put like a cool 20 million on it, you can make 100K.
yeah.
That's terrible. Oh my gosh. But I guess we're getting a little freaky here. I got a nice DraftKings square for the kid. I got Eagles 7, Chiefs 4. That's plus 2,200. I really like it. I always did squares. I didn't realize it was gambling when I was a kid, but we would do them for like, like fundraisers and stuff, and they were like $20 for a square, but the winnings were always so big, and I was like, that's cool. I'll buy a square. And it was the one game where Peyton Manning was in the Super Bowl. It had to be when he was on
Is
the
it the
Broncos,
Panthers or
right?
was it Panthers or when he played the Panthers Super Bowl
It was when
50?
he played, yeah, Cam Newton. And I
Yeah,
bought one, and I think I had weird numbers. It was like 1-3. And it was some weird ass scores. Or it might have been 21-13 or so. It was some weird score at half, and it hit. It was like $350. I was at my church youth group at Ben K, and I was going crazy. That's where it all started, I guess. But yeah, Eagles 7, Chiefs 4. I could see it being like 17-14,
yeah,
27-14. You know what I mean? Up by
yeah.
13.
My next one is I bet tails for the coin toss.
So did I.
Yeah, Sam got
Tails never
tails.
fails,
Okay, tails
baby.
never fails.
Sean will
And
probably take heads.
he'd
Just be a
probably take heads.
jackass.
Yeah, yeah. And then I picked the Gatorade color, and so the only thing that I struggle with, I debated
Mm.
putting 2 on because the last 2 Super Bowls that the Chiefs have won have been purple Gatorade colors that they've dumped on Andy Reid. So in my eyes, I'm like, especially being an athlete, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're gonna do like everything the same. So I bet purple, and then I want to bet yellow for the Eagles because that's the color that they had whenever they won
They're
it
just showing it too much. That's my problem. They said it's
Yeah.
their favorite Gatorade, and then some people are like, "Oh, don't bet it because there's going to be none." But then they're going to have extra, obviously.
Lane Johnson said that they have green in his interview that they like green.
That's
It's
what
like their
yellow
favorite
is.
color.
People call it yellow green.
Yeah. So that's what I was
That
listening to his
Gatorade.
interview. Yeah.
But
But I just bet it on the purple.
dude,
So.
I don't know. I stayed away from it. I got to keep thinking about it, man. I got to keep thinking about it. But I
And
took
then, what'd you take?
I was between a couple.
Dude, you need to ride the Doink train with me. I'll go ahead and say this. I have Doink. It's like no
That's
Doinks
one of
is
them I'm
minus
thinking
like
about.
50,000, and a Doink is like plus 235 or something or whatever it was whenever I bet it. But I bet a Doink. They
How much
include
is
extra
it?
points. It includes, I think it's like minus 500K for no Doinks, and then or 500,000 for no Doinks, and it's like or minus 50,000 for no Doinks. And it's like plus 235 for a Doink.
Oh, dude, do I ride the Doink? It's gonna be Jake
Dude,
Elliott on a miss. I'm calling it right
it's
now.
gonna be somebody.
If I could go exact for like plus 2,000, Jake Elliott Doink miss, yes or no? I'd take yes. I would put my hard-earned money on yes.
Somebody won like 20K on Josh Allen to win MVP, and then he put all of that on no Doinks.
Oh my gosh, that's awful. That's like kind of sickening. Oh, I don't know. Doink or no doink? I don't know.
I just like it's fun.
I'll ride it. I'm riding it.
I just took a big pot of money and then I kind of just spread it out between the whole game. You're riding the doink train,
Yeah, I'm riding the doink train.
but the only thing is, if you think that's Elliott, then you're rooting against him. You're rooting against him.
I don't give a shit.
It could doink. I think it counts
We
if
could
it goes
behead
in.
him.
I think it
It
counts if it
does.
goes in.
It does. But we could just we'll move past that. Maybe we'll throw him off a poor kid. Did you see that kid down at Broad Street when he fell off the post?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he died. I thought he was just
Yeah.
an idiot. He was a freshman at Temple. That's crazy. Rest in
Yeah.
peace. Sorry to the family, of course, but oh my god, people are so stupid.
Yeah. Well, after talking doinks, another fun one that I have is over 2.5 players to attempt to pass.
Over.
So I'm not betting I'm not betting a
Oh,
flea flicker. I'm just betting somebody to make a pass. Because the flea flicker it has to be running back, pitch back to the quarterback. It can't be. I could see the Eagles or somebody running one where it's like they're like, I mean, like it's a double reverse and then somebody's open. But yeah, I have over 2.5 players to attempt to pass. I think it's plus one. It's only like plus 185, which is crazy.
I like it. I like that a lot.
I like that for the flea flicker. The flea flicker is like plus 300, but
if Sirianni brings out the Philly special in this game and it works,
I
will
believe
shit
that
my
anybody
pants.
facing Philly in the Super Bowl has got to be like
It's when you least expect it.
I guess, but he wasn't even the coach then, so who knows if it's even installed.
Put in Kenny Pickett for it.
I guess, but yeah, that's my over 2.5 players to attempt to pass.
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm still, dude. I want to rip some of these because they look so much fun. But
I know,
like Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts combined for 7+ rushing and passing TDs is plus 275.
that's insane though. That's like a ton of. I mean, I guess it's 49 points, but you're assuming that like Saquon's not going to run it in if Vegas knows their line.
Yeah.
You could also bet there's a fun one of. I mean, there's the one where it's like both teams to have a field goal and touchdown in the game.
Yeah, but that's easy. Well, not with Jake Elliott, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, well.
My only other last fun one while you're looking over it is I have the last offensive play of the game not to be a kneel. It's either kneel or anything.
I did see that.
And so I bet that the last offensive play not to be a kneel. I think that it's going to come down to either the Chiefs have the ball in their hands to kick a field goal to win or like somebody's going to be going for it on the last play. It's not going to be like, and also too, it's the Super Bowl. Like nobody's going to, unless the winning team has the ball, which I just, for whatever reason, don't see that happening. I mean, it's just going to be a Hail Mary. Nobody's going to kneel it out, but I don't know. I have my block. I have my mortal too. So, but I'll let you get your last little.
My last fun one is the will the opening kickoff be a touchback? I had no plus 205. I really like that line. No touchback plus 205.
Okay, my lock of the week is Goddard 60+ receiving yards. I like that a lot. I think that he's gonna have a day. I didn't want to put something fun as my mortal lock. I wanted it to be but 60+ is plus odds. I think his line is like 54.5 or something. But I just took it at 60 yards, and let it ride. I think it's going to be a good day for the boy.
Absolutely. Well,
Squidward.
It's kind of a weird mortal lock, but I've got, not really. I was between two. I don't know how risky or fun I want to get. I guess I'll put it in as a regular pick now that I'm thinking about it because I can't say it's going to guaranteed, but Saquon Barkley, 2+ touchdowns at plus 275. I would take that. I would do a sprinkle. I think it's definitely worth it. But my mortal lock is Jalen Hurts anytime.
Hurts anytime touchdown.
They're gonna run a tush push 9 times in a row if it means Jalen Hurts is gonna get in the end zone.
See if the refs will award the Eagles points.
Yeah, who gets a touchdown at that point? Can I bet on that? Like,
I mean,
That'd be a fun
if there's
bet.
a way, will the referee award points in this game?
Well, yeah, that's minus
Well, I'm saying that's
700 with the Chiefs.
yeah.
Cheating ass refs. Can
I
we,
know
before we go, do you want to talk about like the game a little bit?
about this game.
Yeah, like in depth a little bit.
I mean, obviously, my thing about this game is, dude, I just think that Jalen Hurts is or not Jalen Hurts. I think that Patrick Mahomes is just inevitable. Like it's like it's the unstoppable force meets the immovable object. I mean, the Eagles are by far and away the best team that the Chiefs have faced this year, by far and away. But I don't know, man. It's just something that's always in the air. But I think that this Eagles team is light years better than they were the last time they faced the Chiefs 2 years ago.
I mean, you're replacing Miles Sanders with Saquon Barkley to start.
And the defense too is just absolutely ruthless. And I think the Chiefs offense is the worst that it's been, and their defense is worse than last year, but not the worst that it's been in their Super Bowl tenure. But I mean, I think it's going to be close. I hope it's close. It's all just going to depend who comes out hot. I mean, the Eagles can't turn the ball over. If you turn the ball over even once this game, you're probably dead. Like, it's just, you can't give any free drives to the Chiefs.
If you turn it over I will say if you turn it over and they score, they're dead. If they turn it over and then they stop them, whatever. But if you turn the ball over and you allow them to score, yeah, this game's over. Because either they're getting the ball back in the second half or they get the ball first. I feel weirdly confident. Like, I feel weird confident, meaning like we're going to beat them by like over 10 points. Like, I could see us winning like 38-28.
I've heard that a lot
41,
too. That a lot of people
like,
think that the Eagles are just going to blow them out.
There's something about this team. It's like that. I said it like 5 weeks ago, but I remember I watched Zach Bond. I forget what regular season game it was. It was one of the last two, but he came out of nowhere, he missed a tackle, gets back up, and then tracks him down, and there were like 6 guys on him. And I was like, dude, that's how a real motivated defense plays. Like, I was like, that team, that feels like the Super Bowl defense that we had.
I feel like this is pretty common, though, for Phillies fans just in general, though. Like, in all sports. It was like, I feel like it was the same for every Phillies team that made a deep run of, like, this team's just different. This team's just, like, insane. Like that 2022 run we went to the World Series, that's how it was. I mean, even last year when you lose, I mean, not to like toot my own horn as a Mets fan, but like when you lost to the Mets, like everybody's like, this team's just different. Like, I don't know, like it's just whatever. Like the Sixers, like dude, like even though they always get bounced in the,
I'm not reclaiming the Sixers, bro.
I know, but your brother, whenever they're a team,
strong lover
kind of deal. Yeah. But I'm saying like
passionate lover.
This team's different. But then again, that's a fair assessment to have when you're in this spot. If like this team's different, like.
Yeah, but like from your outside look, the Chiefs, and like I'll put it in like third person view because I had to make these picks because I'm still going to recognize that Kelsey's going to have a day. I almost bet him for a touchdown. I might put him in a parlay. I'm going to put in some parlays. So on Twitter, I'll put in the parlays. They're not going to my slip, but I'll tell you ones I'm very confident about. But like this team, it's just they've beaten the tar out of everybody at least once this year. Like everybody they've seen, like the Packers, they beat the shit out of them. And then they also beat them. They've beaten everybody more than twice. Like they had to beat the Packers twice. They beat the Packers twice. They had to beat the Rams twice. They beat the Rams twice. Like they beat the Commanders twice. They beat everybody. You know what I mean? Like in baseball, it's like you can't. It's hard to win a whole series because one of those games you're not going to be perfect. But like the Eagles have beaten everybody they needed to every single time. And just like the offense, like you said, is incredible. The thing that scares me though is like Jalen Hurts is ranked like 37 out of 37 for QBs when he's pressured. Which is kind of a scary stat given how good of our offensive line is. You know what I mean?
He's having to scramble. He's really inefficient when he scrambles. I saw a stat that was 25% of his throws are thrown out of bounds, which is kind of like crazy. Yeah. 25% of his pass attempts this year have been out of bounds.
That's nuts.
But I don't know.
Well,
I
I
just
look
think
at
no
it like
matter how bad a Chiefs team is or how like mid they are, it's like there's something that they always put themselves in positions to win. Like I'm not like yeah, I think the refs or whatever kind of blow them a little bit, but they're always like I mean, the blocked field goal against the Broncos, the Ravens, incompletion by half an inch. It's like, but they just are always putting themselves in these positions to win the game. Like,
Josh Allen with the QB sneak. They said that Josh Allen always goes left, so they just sold out left. Like they said, if he went right, he would have gotten 5 or 10 yards.
right. And
But we
then,
just sold out left because that's always where he goes.
right. And then Spags with that blitz there to end the game that everybody talked about, which he hadn't pulled out all game. He just saved it for that moment. I mean, there's just, if you keep it close, there's just a good chance that Patrick Mahomes is going to burn you. I mean, the stats, I don't know off the top of my head, but like the stats of like, Mahomes in the last minute of a playoff game. He's like undefeated or something when trailing or something like something crazy. But I don't.
Yeah.
They just always find themselves a way to win. What I would find interesting is let's put us in a situation real quick. 4th and 5 on the Chiefs 45-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
You're up by 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going?
How much time on the clock?
There's a minute and a half. But like the Chiefs will get the ball with a minute and a half left. And they have 2 timeouts. Because this is the thing I've been hearing on all the sports podcasts of like, do you just go for it? Because pretty much giving them the ball on punting the ball and bouncing it on the 10 is the same as giving them the ball on the 50-yard line with a minute and a half left. Like, you're up by 6, so they have to score a touchdown. Are you punting that ball or are you punting it? Because dude, it has just been proven time and time again. If you give him a chance, because then you take the chance of we get this first down, we ice the game, it's over. But you give the ball in his hands with a minute and a half left on his own 10-yard line.
I mean, even before you gave me the stats, I was going to say go for it. Especially as what's the worst that's going to happen? You give them the ball at the 45. You can kind of usher them into the end zone earlier if that's your game plan. You know what I mean? You don't want to lose by losing on a touchdown the last play. So you play a little bit of, you go to get it all in the first 2 downs. It's like I would blitz the first possession. If say we turn it over. So Chiefs ball now at their own 45 with a minute 40 on the clock. I would blitz the hell out of them first 2. But if they get 2 first downs, then I would just play baby coverage, let them score a touchdown. You get 40 seconds on the clock to drive down the field. You know what I mean? That's worst case scenario if you don't make the 4th down. But I mean, Kellen Moore is a maniac. Sirianni's a maniac. Like they could just say, okay, they could show pass and then hand it off to Barkley and get a 10-yard gain. Right. Like there's so many avenues in this offense. You could dump it off to Goddard. You could hit AJ with another bullshit 25-yard pass for no reason. Right. Like they can get it in any avenue, and the worst comes to worst, you let them score quickly, so you get that ball back and win by a field goal.
Yeah. This is what I wish Hawk was here too to give it a little bit of perspective, but we know he's got priorities, he's got things he's got to attend to.
He's soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say he's soft, but
but no, I mean, I'm very, very optimistic. Like I said, I got that weird feel. Like I had a weird feeling when we played the Patriots. I didn't have a weird feeling when we played the Vikings. I was like, oh my gosh, we're probably going to lose this one. We got Nick Foles because we barely beat the Falcons 16 to 14. Some bullshit. The ugliest game ever. But we beat the crap out of the Vikings. And then when they showed up and I was watching them that first drive, I was like, holy shit, we're going to beat the Patriots. Even when the Patriots came back and were winning, I was like, we're going to win this. Foles came back. We Brandon Graham get the strip sack. I really do think I think the Eagles are going to be hunting Mahomes. I think they're going to hurt him. I think they're going to make it hurt so Mahomes will want to scramble more and we could just contain him. You know what I mean? I'll give him a 4-yard scramble if that means he doesn't have time to let Worthy literally just turn on the jets.
Right. We'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see too how many Eagles fans compare to Chiefs fans from the stadium because it's closer to Kansas City, but I mean it's the Super Bowl, so it's.
Well, I mean, half of them are going to be Taylor Swift's friends, so
yeah,
which is bullshit.
It's be the home of the Chiefs. How we always heard with Brady's always playing around at the crib.
So stupid.
Yeah, I've covered everything that I want to cover for this game. If you have any final words for the Eagles and the Eagles fans, You know, it's Super
I
Bowl Eve. What's the spread looking like at the Spadea House for the game? The Strombolis again this year? Is
no
it no
carbs,
bowling?
boy. No, it's gonna be pulled
What's the
pork.
spread at the Spadea House?
I think it's pulled pork. Uh, I don't even know, dude. Pulled pork. Someone's gonna make buffalo chicken dip. Um, I really don't know what they're making. There's something else in there. It's like double protein, so it's good. Big
Yeah.
time. Oh, roast beef sandwiches. That's what it is.
Oh, I love a good roast beef.
Yeah,
Dude.
a little bit of provolone on that for the kid. Yep.
Yeah, sir.
But no, I heard some guy saying in an Xfinity Live while I was sitting there, and Ben and his friend, we all convinced each other to pay an egregious amount of money for nosebleeds. But we were talking to some random fans, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm nervous." He was like, "Why be nervous, man?" He was like, "We're here. Like this is like we're the best team in the league. Like that's why we're here." And I was like, "Oh, I guess you're right." And I wasn't really like thinking about it, but he said it again. He goes, "Dude, really Saquon Barkley, nobody can stop him. Like we're the best team in the league. Like they can't hang with us." And then we beat the shit out of the Commanders, 55-23. So I don't know. I got some special magical feeling about it this year. I really don't think. I think Goodell, if he's been rigging the games all year, this is the game not to,
Yeah.
because you're
So
just
many
going to
eyes
lose
on it.
money. Well, you're going to lose money. Like if it's
Yeah.
egregious, people are like have vowed to cancel subscriptions and not watch anymore. And if you give it to the Chiefs, the team that's hated most, I saw a quote that I'll end with this that I 100% agree with. It was a picture of Tom Brady, and it said we all hated him because we couldn't beat him. And then it showed a picture of Mahomes. It's like we all hate him because we're not allowed to. And it just
I agree.
like it didn't. Brady wasn't saved by the refs. Like
He was respected. He was respected.
he was respected.
He was respected.
Like if Tom Brady says, "Hey, I think that dude's been holding my guy twice. He kind of looks like he's struggling over there. Keep an eye on it." They're going to throw a flag at the slightest tug because, like, oh, he's right. But, like, with Mahomes, it's like flop. He cries, whoa, that's holding. And they just immediately, bang, it's there. Like, whatever you say, Lord Mahomes. It's just, I think they're going to lose money because people are sick of seeing Taylor Swift. And if you give them a win, like, you're going to see Taylor Swift more. And then that's all it was. I think their gig with her is over. And I'm calling it right now. In the next year, if the Chiefs lose this game, Taylor and Travis are broken up. I think it was all a publicity gig.
I think if the Chiefs win, there's a chance that Travis might retire after this year.
Oh yeah. If they lose,
he doesn't look like explosive on the field really. Like I watch him like run those like curl routes or those digs, and then he gets it, and then it looks like it takes him like 6 steps to get fully turned around and move on the field. You know? He looks slow.
No, I thought that as well. He might definitely retire, but I'm calling it. I thought from the beginning it was a publicity stunt, and like now that they're in the Super Bowl 3 back-to-back years, especially this year after having like a miracle season all season, I think they're going to break up within a year. It's all going to be over.
We'll see. I don't know. I try not to get too much into that drama because I
hate it, bro. I hate it. I don't want to see her.
But I will say I've never, dude. There's no bigger like Chiefs and Pat Mahomes haters than Eagles fans. Like it's like
100%.
It's the biggest like, it's the most hated like. It's a rivalry within just because of the Super Bowl in 2020. It's like the Eagles.
That's it. That's literally it.
Will forever be a rival. And then
it's not even that. We were like, oh, the refs bailed them out. The refs love Mahomes. And then the next 3 years, they start getting more and more calls. And it's like, holy shit, the Eagles might have been right, even though we hate those guys. Yeah. And then everybody hates the Chiefs. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, the Eagles started it because they have beef with us because they're babies.
Yeah, I mean, I respect him in a sense. I think he is a crybaby. But
he is. Mahomes is 100% a crybaby.
Yeah.
No matter how good you think he is, he is talented. He's 110% talented.
He's the most talented quarterback in NFL history.
That's false.
No, it's not. The most talented quarterback in NFL history? Talented. I'm not saying he's the greatest of all time. I'm saying he's the most talented. He's way more talented than Tom Brady is. His arm strength's better.
I would
he's
say
more elusive than Tom Brady
I like Allen way more.
Dude, I mean, that's like grasping at straws. I mean, it's like
not really. He's way more elusive than Mahomes, who you're talking about is elusive.
I mean, you could argue Lamar Jackson at that point.
No.
They both have two
Can't.
MVPs.
You can't.
Him and Patrick Mahomes both have two MVPs. He arguably should have won it this year. That's why
Who?
I said arguably. Lamar arguably should have won
Well,
it.
dude,
It's an
we all
argument.
know the voting was in. They were waiting for that game to be over. Like, we're gonna give it to the winner, 100%. I don't think they had voting done. They were like, they probably were a stalemate, and they decided whoever wins this game will give him MVP.
Yeah.
And Lamar fumbled twice, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I was listening to, well, again, Nick Wrong, and they were talking about how Mahomes is going to be the GOAT if he wins this one. Dude, like,
it's an argument.
It's not.
It's an argument.
Tom Brady left the New England Patriots, went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one of the worst teams at the time, and literally won a Super Bowl that year. Nobody else can ever do that. You take Patrick Mahomes' defense away from him, you take Spags and Andy Reid away from him, he falls apart. I swear, he falls apart.
Yeah, I mean,
that's like everybody said. Well, Brady's just a system quarterback. Belichick was a system coach, bro. Without Tom Brady, it was terrible.
You look, though, I mean, Patrick Mahomes 7 seasons as a starter, and all 7 he's been to the AFC Championship.
I understand that, but he's had Spags for 7 years. We, my number one argument, I got to go back and clip it because I remember Sean saying it. He's saying Jalen Hurts is a system quarterback. It's the only reason he's good. He's had 8 different offensive coordinators. Or 7. Every single year he's had a different offensive coordinator, and guess what? Next year, going to have a different offensive coordinator. So
Potentially.
Yeah, but I don't think Mahomes is the GOAT. I think if Mahomes wins this year, obviously, and he gets 1 or 2 more in his career, I think he's the GOAT. But you can't beat Brady. Brady went to a bad team and literally made them win a Super Bowl. He just elevates players.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, that's the end of our Super Bowl preview.
Mm-hmm.
We hope everybody has a wonderful.
Do you want to pick a MVP? A friendly $5 wager? Me and you, since Sean's not here. I'll pick an Eagles guy. You pick a Chiefs guy.
Can we get MVP for either team? Like, because whoever wins.
No, because I know you said it's going to be Mahomes. I think it's going to be somebody on the Eagles.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Mahomes. Like, it's going to be Mahomes. But I think for the Eagles, I would pick Saquon. But
I was going to pick Saquon because I have him for the 2 touchdowns. He gets
there
1 touchdown.
But there hasn't been a running back in like 7 years that's won it. It's been
right. He's going to tie together the single-handed best running back season of all time. He needs 20 yards to beat the most yards in a year.
He might, but
I'm taking Saquon.
I'll take Patrick Mahomes then for this one. But we hope everybody's a safe and wonderful Super Bowl Sunday.
Do not climb any poles, please. I'm being serious. That's very traumatic and devastating that kid died.
Yeah, we have on Monday morning at my job, we have a site shut down for the first 40 minutes of the workday because after a national holiday, or a national championship Super Bowl, they shut it down for 40 minutes, basically to tell all the trades people, like, hey, we know you're probably hungover today. Like, let's be chilled out. So we have that on Monday. So if anybody's going to work and working with power tools on Monday, make sure that you're
please get your sleep.
Make sure you're detoxed by then.
Yeah.
But follow the Twitter, Not How It Takes 200 Scores. So we posting stuff during the Super Bowl through then. And follow the YouTube, and Not How It Takes 2 S's. Kind of leading into the off season, we'll discuss a little bit more. I'd like to, we're going to come out with an episode next week, kind of recapping the Super Bowl and the season. We'll kind of introduce some of our game plan for the offseason. A lot of kind of just covering what's going on in the sports world, covering, a little bit of college basketball, trying to get some interviews lined up for from some potential guests. So, everybody be safe. I know Sam can give a go Birds before he goes, but that's all I got.
Go Birds.
All right. Everybody have a wonderful Super Bowl Sunday, and it's been a pleasure this season, guys. We'll see you.
See ya.